Hello guys, welcome to Tech in Apps. I'm seeing you after a lot of days and a lot of things have changed in life. And you must be excited after seeing the title of the video. My journey to Microsoft, right? So we'll understand, I'll describe my step-by-step journey, okay? Like how I went from open house, it's startup, right? From open house, how I went to Microsoft, how I applied for it, okay, and other things, okay. So we'll understand that. So let's see step by step. But before going ahead in to understand Microsoft, just there are a few things that I will point to you, okay. Okay, so this is not like what do you say, kind of a sponsored video. It's my journey. Okay, so whatever things I'll be suggesting you is totally up to you to take it or not take it. Okay, okay. With that being said, let's proceed. Okay, okay. So I cleared Microsoft a while ago, guys, some weeks ago, and after that I had been preparing for some other interviews. Okay, so finally I decided to join Microsoft. Okay, and I'll be joining that. Currently I'm not joined that. I'm in my notice period in my current company. Okay, after some time I'll be joining Microsoft. Okay, so now like what do you say, and there are a few points I want to discuss here. Okay, what all things you need, how did I, like, how can you prepare, how I prepared. Okay, what type of question can you accept, how the questions were asked to me, these all things we'll understand. Okay, so this thing, whenever you hear about any of the FANG companies, okay, so one thing is very much obvious to you, right? Data structures and algorithm, no doubt. It's totally okay. So what I'll do, I will, what do you say, explain you both. Like most of you may be freshers, some may be experienced. So depending on your experience, you'll be applying for Microsoft. So question number one, okay, can I apply Microsoft as a fresher? Yeah, you can totally apply as a freshers. They have a lot of role which involve freshers. Okay. Okay, so now let's go to the next level of things. What are the topics that I need to learn? What language do I need to learn? In which language did I code? Okay, for my Microsoft interview. Okay, step number one. Any of the FANG level interviews, including Microsoft and including other companies, does not necessarily you're not allowed to they don't force you to choose a language. It's totally up to you guys what language you choose. For example, when I was a fresher, I gave Amazon interview. Okay, that time I gave the entire interview in Java. Okay, means like they were hardly concerned about it. Okay, but I chose Java. It was totally okay. So I'll describe my Amazon experience, even the what do you say, Microsoft experience and the Google experience, all the experience to you guys. I have given all the three interviews. Yeah, Amazon interview I gave as a fresher. Okay. Okay, so these are the things. Step number one. Okay, so since Amazon interview I gave as a fresher, so I'll start describing that. Okay, so most of these I'll have a common point first. Okay, so most of these interview have 4 to 5 rounds in common. Usually, sometimes, like what do you say, except Google, other two have generally have one, like what they say, they will send you a link. It will have 2 to 3 questions. You guys have to solve it. The questions will be hosted on some platform like HackerRank or HackerRank, some platform like this, like the common platforms, right? And the common coding platforms. Okay, so this is the step number one, where you need to code the complete program in one certain language. So step number one, you need to master one complete language. Now the language can be of your choice. It does not matter. It's C, C++, Swift, Java, JavaScript, Python, doesn't matter. Pick a language, master it. That's all. Okay. Once you have done that, okay, the next step is data structures and algorithms. Okay. So now, of course, next rounds as a fresher, you guys will be mostly asked data structure algorithms, and they can even touch OOPS concept. Now this is a uniform thing that applies for all these companies. Okay. Now, okay, see, Amazon and Microsoft interviews are little easier. They are not easier compared to Google interviews. Okay, when you compare them with it, it's relatively easier. You can say the medium level problem and difficult level problem. Not exactly medium level problems, yeah, sometimes a medium level problem and a difficult level problems. Okay. So now next question is, till what extent I should study data structures and algorithm? Where should I study from them? Okay, how should I study them? How should I practice them? There are a lot of obvious questions. Okay, so of course you guys can study from a lot of places, but the problem basically comes, it should be taught in a very structured manner, right? Until you study the things in quite a structured manner, it's quite difficult, right? So you should this is my recommendation, what I personally realize. I also want something that I can start and directly start coding, right? I study a topic and directly start coding. Okay, so now what happens when you do like that? Like suppose I study a topic arrays, I jumped and start solving questions. Now array can be mixed with a lot of concepts, it can be mixed with a lot of other algorithms, questions can be solved, but since you don't know those algorithms at that time, solving those questions will not make much sense, right? Or even if you are solving it, the complexity of those codes can be quite high, you're wasting a lot of your time. So this is my first recommendation, go through complete tutorials of algorithms and data structures first. Okay, step number one. Once you have a complete understanding of those, solve some standard question based on each thing. The standard question means like once you study a language, there will be some question always that is like whenever I tell you, guys, I have a bracket problem, what will you realize? You will realize a stack, right? So a kind of a standard problem for every topics. Once you solve few questions, what will happen? You will get the understanding of those topics very clearly. After you have got the understanding, the next problem comes. Now where should I practice it from? I want to practice it easy, medium, hard, in a proper order. Now you will see, of course, there are a lot of platforms that you guys can see, like you know about HackerRank, you know about LeetCode and so on. But the next problem that arises, they have a lot of questions. Even if I take LeetCode, it has around 2000 questions. Really, how can I solve it? That's a big challenge. We'll discuss about this. Okay. Okay, the next thing is, how should I study algorithms and data structures? Okay, so guys, see, it's always better to find a good mentor who can teach you algorithms and data structures. I also, I study data structures and algorithm from a great mentor. I am not mentioning his name currently, and also his course has also been closed for some reason. Like some of you may have leaked his course to torrent. Okay, his course got leaked to torrent, and then that was the problem. I think he closed it anyway. Okay, so what I wanted to say, step number one, find a good mentor. Through it, good mentor does not necessarily means like you need to go for a mentor, means a good course, okay, where you can be taught in a good way complete data structures and algorithm. Step number one. Step number two, after once you have studied that, what you want to do, you want to practice those problems, the standard problems. After practicing the standard problems, what is the next step you guys need to do? You guys now need to solve the problems which have the mixed concept, okay, that can involve multiple algorithms, data structures, algorithm together. A lot of concepts can be there at the same time. Once you have solved this, then you need to solve the company wise question. Now let's suppose you are targeting Microsoft, or let's suppose you are targeting Amazon, Google. You need to solve the question that has appeared in those interviews, right? Once you are able to solve those kind of questions, then you can say then you are good to go for those kind of interviews. That's great. Okay, so now let's talk about my experience about some companies. Okay, so I'll start with Amazon. Okay, so in Amazon, what happened? Okay, it was totally a 4-round interview. Okay, so the first round was more like what do you say, there were 2 questions. Okay, and of course language independent, you can choose the question that you want. Both the questions were of like what do you say, algorithms. Both the questions were for me algorithms, and there were 20 MCQs. Now these 20 MCQs were from entire CS syllabus. So there were some questions from operating system, some from networks. Okay, but for me, I was not very good at those topics at that time, and this I gave it as a fresher. Okay, so I think I hardly solved 6 to 7 MCQs. Other I guessed it. Okay, I don't know it was correct or not. Okay, my both the programming questions were correct. They were simple. I think I really not getting into the questions. I remember some questions still. Okay. Okay, next round was like a pen and paper round. So basically you were given a set of 3 questions. Now at least you need to do 1 questions. Okay, once you do 1 question, based on that they will decide like, are you good for a QA, or this is as a fresher, or are you good for a like developer or something. Okay, so based on this they like third question, there were 3 questions. So first and second question somehow I solved it. Okay, first question I took several attempts, second question I solved in I think 1 or 2 attempts, third question I was not able to solve at all. Okay, I did not touch it. Okay, it was a complicated tree problem that time. I no new tree, but it was a difficult one. Okay, Okay, now after that, I was not very sure that I would be qualified for that round. Okay, because like I took number of attempts. Like every time you solve this question, you call the invigilator. They come to you, and they basically, okay, something happened to my webcam. Okay, yeah, now I'm back. Okay. Okay, so every time what happened, you solve a question, what you do, you basically go to you basically call the invigilator. He will come and he will be so expressionless that you guys will like, oh my god, like he will see the thing, he will note down something. I don't know what he notes down. Okay, maybe he would be giving you some comments based on this. Okay, once he has done that, okay, and his face will be too expressionless that if you guys see it, you guys will not be able to understand that am I really correct. And I had the same confusion that time. So I was talking about my Amazon interview. Sorry for the little trouble in between. Okay, so the next thing is what do you say? Yeah. Okay, that was my second round. Okay, so after somehow clearing my second round, like I was not sure after even the second round my name will be there. I went to the third round. So third round was mostly like again there were like what do you say? Again it has two questions. They have something like with two questions. Everyone. Okay, Microsoft sometime have three questions in a round, but Google and Amazon, they are very much happy with two questions. Okay, but they had a feature called pass in the third round. If you don't know one question, you can take the pass and go to a third question. Okay, so in three questions you have to solve two. Okay, so like the third round question, one question was of arrays, one question was of trees, the standard, right? Okay, and it was not too difficult, right? They give you enough time. The invigilator are usually quite nice. Okay, and he was much satisfied with the algorithm part. They told me no need to write a complete code and all. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I don't remember writing the complete code. I wrote the algorithm part of it, and I think he was satisfied. So there was one mistake in the three question, but he was like, okay, I got your point. You are correct. Okay, so they basically help you once they feel that you know it. If there is some mistakes, they generally help you. Then you move to the last round. You may have something like last round basically dealt with linked list. They can give you some linked list, find out some error, which line has error, correct it, these kind of steps. Or they may ask you some of the logical questions like how will you validate that the credit card number that you have entered is correct or not, depending on the profile you get. Okay, these kind of questions you can expect in Amazon. So basically you realize everything was DSA algorithm. Okay, but yeah, the level of DSA algorithm was quite easy. Like as a fresher, I realized like the questions algorithms can be a bit tougher. Okay, but if someone asks you data structures, always the questions are standard questions most of the time. Okay, like you must have seen that question even if you have practiced a little. Okay, okay, so standard questions are like 10 problem and 3 is 40 to 50 problems. That's all. If you have seen them once a while, that's all. You're done with that. Okay, awesome. Okay, now coming to other interviews, Google and Microsoft. Okay, so of course Google interview was one of the toughest interviews. Okay, so like Google questions are mostly like what do you say? The questions you can see if you have heard about lead code, they are more than lead code hard level usually. And the questions are not very obvious and clear at the first step. You have to understand the question, analyze it. If you have some issues, you have to ask the invigilator, oh, okay, I did not understand this question. Maybe you are expecting this. What are you expecting? Okay, based on like you need to, they check your deduction skills also. Like when you get an engineering problem, how you'll be able to solve that problem. Okay, but yeah, this interview was mostly like experience, 3-year experience, 3.5 actually. So as a fresher, things can be relatively easier, right? Okay, Microsoft interview was also the same in the same pattern. It was there. I'm not discussing round by round because anyway, if I start discussing the question, it will take too long, right? Okay, so the questions were as a fresher that I like before coming here, I had a look. Is it same for a fresher or different? For a fresher, I think you just need to focus on DSA algorithm and OOPS concept for Microsoft. Okay, and for experienced guys, system design will be added. My round 3 was predominantly like mostly based on system design. Okay, so you should be quite clear with these topics. So these topics are like also a part of my playlist, even algorithms, data structures, and system design. From last 1 month, I was not I was preparing for these interview, trying to give these interviews, but from now I'll be quite regular doing these what do you say, videos, and you'll be getting daily update. Okay, so this is all. Now where should I get started? That's the main question. Like you guys will be confused, how should I start it? Like many of you may have tried starting it, but after a while you feel that things are quite tough and you leave it. Okay, so this is the best thing I can give tell you guys to start it. Like see, like I'll be sharing my screen, give me a minute. Okay, so now you guys will be seeing something. Okay, one second. So guys, this is a thing I'll be suggesting to you. Like Newton School, as you know, they are a great platform which helps you bank a career in tech, right? So they have launched a grand coding contest. Okay, I as my beginner when I was starting like my journey, I used to participate in a lot of these contests, right? When participating in these contests will help you guys a lot to what do you say to understand, like to compete with other candidates. When you see your ranking on the leaderboard and other things, that will really motivate you. Okay, and since they have a contest coming up, this is a perfect time for you guys have to start. The link will be in the description. Okay, so like you guys can see they have a grand coding contest and you can see the prizes also. Always a motivating factor, right? Okay, so this is one of the best thing where you guys can start with it. Okay, of course there are a lot, but I'll recommend this because I have seen this, it's quite good. Okay, okay, so now once you like what do you say participate in this, then you may come to a lot of like you will see a lot of people, like-minded people like you who will be who are interested in this. Once you communicate with them, understand how everyone progresses, then also you can refine your study timings, study ways and everything, right? So this is my recommendation to all of you guys. Okay, do sign up and just this can be your first step towards going to some of the big FANG companies. Okay, awesome guys. So guys, that's my recommendation. Okay, like what do you say, like when I started my career, like I started coding from my college, even before that actually. Okay, so like at the end of my college I took a like what do you say, it was given by our college itself, like what do you say, a kind of a coding practice. They called certain institute which help us, which it was like a coding bit camp. We went for like 8 hours every day for a period of like more than a month. Okay, about 40 days or something. That really helped us. Okay, that really boosted us, right? Okay, so that was one of the very fantastic thing, guys. Okay, so now since it like what do you say, since it helped me, the boot camp are really good. In this boot camp what I did almost every day, like almost, yeah, every day at the end of 4 hours I used to solve out these questions. There were competitions between a lot of students which will help me, which helps me to motivate to get to rank 1 or high rank. Okay, so these kind of stuff I did a lot. Okay, and after that of course I practiced from a lot of places, and each and everything contributed to my success. But this is a very important, guys. Okay, participate in the contest. Okay, and also you guys know, like what do you say, this course is on YouTube, right? But this course is also placed on our website. Do check it out, the link is in the description below, the launch pad, right? Okay, anyway, if you like this video, do give it a like. If you don't like it, it's okay, no problem. You can dislike it, totally okay. Okay, and do subscribe it. If you want to get more of my content, see my other playlist. You can check out my other playlist. Okay, I have a playlist on more algorithm, data structure, system design, everything. I'll be like adding more and more videos to it soon. Okay, like on a weekly basis, those things will be updated. Okay, guys, see you. Bye bye.